Now, I think that the solution is for these government officials to be paid at the same rate that civil servants are being paid.
It should not be something that should just make people, run into their hiding places and say, oh, the era of mankind is gone. Hello and welcome to Let It Be podcast with Susan Uzono.
And I'm Lysias and Susan. Welcome on this channel.
Exactly. It is Expand 247. Now the question to you is, have you subscribed? Have you commented? Have you watched our videos? I mean, are you part of what is happening here? We would love you to be part of it, just in case you're not one of our subscribers. So what are you waiting for? Why not go ahead and subscribe? And we also have questions for the day where we want to learn for you. And that's why we'll look at Let It Be podcast as your number one peaceful platform. It just brings you that atmosphere where you can be yourself, you can relax, you can learn, and also express yourself.
Yes, on Let It Be, we explain, we talk, we bring up topical issues about life, existence, what is working, what is not working, people's attitudes and characters that we feel is not portraying the good image of our dear country, Nigeria, and our personality. So please do well to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and also comment anytime we ask any question, just to help us improve and to also have you in mind.
And just in case this is your first time, we want to especially welcome you. Yes, you will not regret to be on this channel at all. Today we're going to be talking about something amazing as usual, and I'm just hoping that by the time you finish listening to this podcast, it would just be something that it will boost you, would give you strength, and above all, it will also be something that you can pass on to someone and say, okay, do like this and do like that. And we all know that it's not easy to be an adult. I mean, nobody really talked about it, but when I heard that song, and it says something, there's a phrase from it that says adulthood na scam. It made us zoom in the more to look at this thing. Do you think adulthood is a scam?
Well, I don't think it's a scam, because there's a lot that comes to play when you're talking about someone being an adult. You're talking about increased responsibility, where the person is expected to behave in some certain manners, to reason in a particular manner that the society feels that is the way. So it's not really a scam per se, but there's just a lot that comes with adulthood that some people are not groomed well enough to navigate that terrain as it.
Well, thank God for a song like that, because it has brought us to a place where we're beginning to look at this thing called adulthood, deeply, to look at it more deeply, to see the switch from being like, okay, a baby, a child, and then you switch to a place where you need to be responsible. I think when you just talk about adulthood, the first thing that comes to your mind is being responsible.
Yes.
And having responsibilities, So that is just the main thing, and we're just going to pick out some things, and we're talking about navigating adulthood, as it were. Just we're hoping that you could pick some life hacks from it, and from our own experiences. Lysias, people mention that they blame the leaders. That's one thing that we see adults do. They blame the leaders for where they are, their predicaments. In fact, there are a lot of people that are so angry about the leadership. So sometimes you just see people having conversations. You pass close to maybe a newspaper stand, and you see people having and you're wondering, is something happening? I think the next thing that brings people together, it's number one, football, and then gossip. But by and large, when they start talking about the government, it has a way of just bringing people together. And most of the times, those that are adults, I don't know if you share the same belief with these people that the leadership is not making adulthood any easier.
Yes. It's not, because for one, I believe that leadership or people in government should be able to do things to make the lives of people easy.
Okay.
I'm not saying give people money.
Okay.
All right, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is the dynamic economy of your nation or the country, is it favorable to the people living there? You don't come in as a new government or as a government to make policies that are making people suffer. That is, for me, I don't feel that is what a government should do.
Yeah.
Now, I think that the solution is for these government officials to be paid at the same rate that civil servants are being paid. I feel that also their privileges, what are these privileges? Let them pay for their fuel from their own pocket. Let them pay for their food from their own pocket. That way they will be able to feel what the average citizen out there is feeling. You are being paid 50,000. 50,000, in fact, they said minimum wage. The minimum wage can't even wage you. It can't take you home. It can't pay your bills. Your rents are out of this world. And the government is claiming they are doing all they can. Let the government officials be paid at the same rate that other people are being paid, and let them also pay for their fuel from their own pocket, feed their families from their own pocket, pay house rent from that mega salaries they are receiving, and then let's come back and talk about it and say whether these policies you're making, whether they are helping or they are not helping.
Yeah, I believe strongly that what our leaders are doing impacts the people.
It does.
It does. When everybody cannot be wrong, the masses cannot be wrong. I mean, yes, we know that there are people that cannot be, satisfied. But by and large, we also, we are the citizenry, and we also can feel the bites. I mean, but let's look at the flip side of this, and with the whole thing happening with the economy, I believe strongly that this is not a political platform anyway, but I believe that the leaders should also pay attention to what they say. We had a government where the leader, one of our president, made a statement and said, the lazy youths, and it went. You won't believe, as simple as that sounds, it really impacted people. At that time, you could see some youths just sit down and wonder. So I think there's more to just being a leader. I believe strongly that we are taking this whole, this person is a leader, this person is a follower, very lightly. Yeah. I believe the things that we do really tell on these people. Well, I believe in a good Nigeria and a great Nigeria. I believe that we're going to have a time where the citizenry would really, really, really bear their mind as it is. I just feel that right now it's just the type of government that we're practicing and their own way of leadership that is really telling on the people. And
you see, like what you said, for a leader to come up and say lazy youths, I feel it's very insensitive. Very insensitive, because when you go out every day, you see street youths on the streets hawking to earn a living. You see youths selling bread to earn a living. How will you sit down and qualify everyone as being lazy?
That was uncalled for.
It is uncalled for. That's picking out a small fraction of some people and just using it to generalize everybody and say everybody is lazy. There are youths today that, what about the laborers? They also are lazy. Going to dig holes from here to more than 10 meters, they are still digging that hole, and you call them lazy because they are not opportune to be in the same position that you are. Let's flip the coin. You come and do what they are doing, and then we'll come back and talk about laziness, and then we'll see whether they are lazy or you are lazy.
Well, we all know that it's just like these politicians have a line. They just have their own way. Sometimes I feel it's like a movie where we just say scene 1, scene 2, or part 1, part 2, or episode 1, episode cuts. I just feel there's a lot going on there, and by the end of the day, I believe strongly that you don't take the people for granted.
You don't.
No.
It's only in a country like Nigeria that those in leadership, those in political office, I said those in political office because they were actually voted into those positions, can say whatever they want to say, behave the way they want to behave, and get away with it. I feel that there is a part of the election constitution that can actually mandate the people that voted you to recall you and say, look, you are not holding well, you are not behaving well, we don't want you in that position again. If we can toe that line, that every political office holder knows that if I misbehave, I can be recalled and this mandate taken away from me, I believe they will sit up.
I believe that strongly, and I know that these things will work themselves out. I believe so. I believe the way the people are more aware and more expressive now, and thank God for platforms like social media, I know things will work themselves out. I believe that strongly. When you talk about leaders and you leave it at that point, it's not balanced. We also want to talk about followers. So we are seeing increase in so many social vices. We're seeing increase in, you know, kidnapping and ritual killers and everything. And you know what annoys me is that when they are, you know, they are arrested, you know, they say, oh, it's because of the economy, they were hungry. That is not an excuse.
Well, that's the excuse that people always give, you know. But you see, as far as the law is concerned, that's not an excuse for you to go and perpetrate one crime or the other and feel that it's, oh, it's because the person was hungry. Okay, go and be hungry and continue. No, no, no. The law doesn't say that, you know. So I feel that even if the economic situation is bad, that should not lead you to crime. What leads people to crime, for me, I think, is greed. Because you want to drive big cars, you want to live in a very big house, but your capacity, you've not built your capacity to earn that amount of luxury you want to enjoy. You know, so I feel that everybody should just get back on their drawing board and look at critically, what can I do? And try and do those things they can do and live within their means.
Live within their means. I want to correct you on, even if the economic situation is bad. I mean, if it is telling on you, because we still have some people that are balling and going for parties and, and doing all sorts, you know. So we'll always have an economy that is favorable to some people and not favorable to other people. It will always be like that, all right? So even if it is telling on you, if you don't have, I mean, it's just inexcusable. It's totally inexcusable to say because of this. There's a lot of people going into prostitution and doing, being bandits and all, toggery, and giving that excuse that it's because of the economy. It's really uncalled for. It's really if not for anything, this is the time where we should unite them more, find out what is inside of us, because truthfully, there's so much emphasis on the gifts that we have now, talents. You see, a lot of things is happening. That is the coping mechanism of the people, of the citizenry, and it's something that should be applauded. Indeed, a lot of people are doing well, especially in our nation. And guess what? Even our people from our nation are also doing well in other nations of the world. So you see, it cannot really be generalized that we're lazy in any form. Let's just keep going on. I believe that in a better Nigeria. Another thing that I wanted to look at is that the borders adults that I've picked up, you know, from some research that I've done. It's the issue of the innovation, the creation of robots. You know, as funny as it may sound, there are some people that are really scared that, oh, there's going to be a time. It's not just speculation. Like, I've had people say it to a crowd that, oh, we'll come into a time where robots are going to take your job, you know. Can you imagine a world where robots are the ones now giving, you know, instructions to humans, and they are taking over, and then there are no humans, or humans are being relegated to the background? I mean, if that's the fear and that's the scare, can you imagine? Do you think that will ever happen?
Well, the part that robots will now dominate the earth, I don't think that will happen, because one, robots are not reproductive in nature.
Yeah.
And then secondly, the knowledge that the robot has was imputed by someone, a human at that, which means that human also has a fail-safe when it becomes possible that this robot wants to be destructive, you understand, or be rebellious. You get, it's possible to pull the plug. But you see, the reason why robots are really gaining grounds is because they seem to be tireless, working on battery and the rest of it. You don't need to feed them. You understand? You don't need to feed them, and then they can work for longer hours. But I feel that there can't come a time where robots take over the world.
Yeah. I can't. The thing is, I can't even visualize it. Yes. You know, even if we have a billion robots, you know, I can't. From nation to nation, I can't visualize it. You know,
we all can't afford it.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's not even about the money. It's just the fact that it shouldn't be something that would scare anyone. Of course, they may be very useful, but there will always be jobs. There will always be jobs. And we all know that machines cannot be compared to human beings. So by all means, let's keep doing what we are doing and just, be positive and know that there will always be a need for a human. There will always be a need for a human. I believe that strongly. It should not be something that should just make people, run into their hiding places and say, oh, the era of mankind is gone. That is not even something that, that we should even bother ourselves about. Okay. So let's talk about family and the role they have to play with this whole adulthood. I mean, do you think that we're being prepared enough for adulthood from our families? How was your growing up like? Do you think that as an adult now, looking back, you were really taught, the things that you should learn, or you just watched your parents do it, or did you read books on how to be an adult?
Well,
how was it?
There are books to read about what is expected of an adult. And then growing up and watching your parents do it, you just have a feeling that, okay, this is what obtains, this is what a responsible adult should do. Yeah. But the family has really tried. The family has tried in giving you a concept or a blueprint of how to live your life as an adult. But you see, our world is evolving.
Okay.
And you will discover that what our parents taught us as in the responsibility of how the family runs, as in what the mother does, what the father does, we've seen that all of that has changed now. We have families now that both mother and father have to be out there working. Now, there are scenarios where you expect that the mother should be able to maybe close by 5 to be home to take care of the kids. But you see that because of the economic trend, the changes, that is not even possible any longer. You find the father leaving his day job to go and start up doing something else late at night, coming back. The mother had to do the same thing because they all have to try to see how they can ensure that the kids have a comfortable upbringing. So the family has really done enough. They have tried, they have tried really. If I'm going to give a rating for family upbringing, I think I'll give 10 over 10.
Yeah, 10 over 10. I believe that we're coming back to how it used to be. Well, I grew up seeing our parents, take up responsibilities and just back themselves up. So we got to a time where even as single people, where we're hearing, that should not be. Oh, the husband should. This is the clear rule. Yeah. There shouldn't be any blend, any mixture, and we're like, okay. But now we see that some people may not even say it openly, but they know that when they are not at home, the husband is filling the gap. When the husband is not around, they are filling the gap. Even financially, a lot of women are, looking out for themselves and looking out for their family now. I think it's just going back to how it used to be, and it's really applaudable. Mothers that went to the farm, that went to sell. I'm being specific that even then the women were, even it was assumed they were sitting at home, but the truth is that they were also being supportive there.
They were. I'm not ruling out the fact that they were being supportive. All I'm saying is that the dynamics has changed now to the point where we have both mother and father virtually absent at home. You understand what I mean now? Absent at home, that both of them have to be working, this one working in this side, this one doing this, just to make sure that they can pull resources together and present a common front.
Yeah, and I'm also saying presently, we have situations where even if the woman is at home, she's able to do, there are so many opportunities now where she's able to still take care of the children and still not be absent and still make money. Okay. So presently, things have really evolved. So you see women being content creators. You see so many online jobs because of the transition in jobs. Yeah. It's easier now for women to take up that role, even for men to take up that role. So I believe that the percentage of absent parents is really on the decrease now. Okay. Yeah, I believe strongly. But all said and done, you just establish the fact that the family is trying. Yeah, the family will always be that first point of call. And we're saying this, just to let people know that the family should not be taken for granted. Yeah. I know that there are people that were brought up also in families where, maybe one parent was absent, or maybe both parents were absent, but the family still plays a very important role. And I'm happy that we have communities like church communities that fill that gap, just in case you don't have, a parent to be there to, frame you and shape on you. So, I mean, by all means, let's have a heart where we take up the things that are workable. Like, be deliberate to take up characters that are workable, because you are not just a tree in a forest. You are part of a society. So it's important that we have this in our heart. What do people say? Because, I mean, we should not have people, that, and we're talking about adults now that just want to do their own thing. There's just, because of trend and all, everybody wants to just do their thing. But we cannot rule out the fact that this values and culture and belief system of our parents, and even tradition is still something that should be upheld. Don't you think so?
I think so. I think tradition should be upheld.
Yeah.
And make sure that the children also know what the tradition says. I'm not talking about the negative traditions, but how younger ones are expected to respect their elders and all of that.
Yeah.
That's part of our tradition.
Exactly.
And it must be encouraged.
That's the aspect I'm looking at, it, not just the religious side of it, but I mean those do's and don'ts and acceptable practices. Important that we imbibe this and not just feel that, oh, we're now westernized, so we could just walk literally naked or attempt to do whatever we want to do and call our parents old school. That will not really count. No. That will not count. The truth is, as an adult, you sow what you reap. I had the lady that said something. She said, "Oh, mommy, forgive me. All those times I did you wrong, and you said what you did to me, your children will do to you. It has begun to happen. I'm beginning to see it." And when I read it, a lot of women could relate with that, and it's important. It may be something that was saying in a lighter note, but these things come around. What you do, what you sow, it comes around. Okay, so it's important. And I also wanted to add here, Lysias, that it's also good to educate your children that not everybody is like mommy and daddy out there. Not everybody is like mommy and daddy out there. You see those old tradition of don't just receive food from strangers. Did you can you remember anyone you were taught?
Of course, we were taught all that. You don't beg, you don't ask for anything, you don't receive anything from anybody. You understand? And then peradventure someone that is close to your family gives you anything, you are demanded to bring it home and to show your parents before any other thing. Yeah. Before you eat, before you do
those were the examples of preparation. And even as adults, when you're getting married, you had something like better stay true to your husband. And another advice someone gave to me that was very vital was the fact that he said, if you pursue just what you read, like pursue career, you would one day retire and then, there's nothing left to do again. He said, but pursue talents, pursue gifts, pursue what you are good at. He said that way, even when you are old, you are still important. And that advice really helped me. I don't know if there's any other one that kept you, even as a single guy.
Yes, one that kept me on was more like an acronym. He said, when you do the things you need to do, when you need to do them, the time will come when you can do those things you want to do when you want to do them.
Yeah, that's an amazing one. All right, let us know what is keeping you, or what someone told you that you've been working on, and the results you've gotten. Please share with us. We've shared ours with you. Share with us, and I believe that yes, it will indeed be very, very, very impactful.
Yes.
All right, another aspect of family I wanted us to look at is the dimension of unhealthy rivalry. I don't know if you feel it, but there's just this subtle competition here and there. It may just be the way the families are framed anyway, because I think it's the same with almost everyone, where some want to shine more than others, but they are not saying it. And when there's a reunion, you just realize that those that seemingly think that they are the ones that are on top, just want to be the boss. And sometimes it's even the most elderly one. There's just this silent
I think it boils down
action.
to our culture. Our culture is that no matter how rich you are as a younger person, you must show respect to the older person. To the point where you have to like bend backwards for the elderly ones, and then those ones, you understand, you know that maybe those ones are not well to do. But when it's coming from this rivalry, is to the point of trying to put someone down, trying to always be negative, even when there is no need for being negative. It happens in families, and but I think that's all part of life. We all have different ambitions, different goals, so there's always that tendency that someone will feel better than the other person.
I just feel it's something that is there. It may not just be for the wrong reasons, just as you've rightly pointed out. It's only when it's obvious that you're being put down, or you're being ignored. And then there's just this also this feeling of you will always be that child that some family members give, sometimes that extended family. You've done yourself well, you're there with kids. I don't think they mean it for the bad reasons, but sometimes it just comes out as, can't you just accept the fact that I am now big? I think it's just their funny way of making you always remember that, oh, I'm your senior. You just see an aunt and say, oh, small you.
It doesn't matter. Sometimes they just do it. They do it like, out of joke. Not that they are doing it because they want to put you down. You understand? We all know that you're older than me. We know that you're bigger than I am. But so it's just. I feel it's just about family reunion thing, especially when they've not seen you for a very long time.
For a very long
time.
Oh
my God, you've grown. It happens.
Yeah. It happens, and it's accepted. But in a situation where, okay, I've seen situations where, families, just keep asking someone, maybe you're single. I think that's when it's not easy being an adult, and they are wondering, oh, there's another wedding again. Oh, you've arrived. Oh, when are you getting married? Or maybe you're one that has children all the time and be like, oh, you're pregnant again. Or there's other scenarios where, okay, maybe you're not doing too well, and then you come there like, has he gotten a job yet?
No, sometimes they do it out of genuine love, trying to see you better, and we are all different in our perspectives and in our approach, and also in how we say things.
Yeah, I think the approach is the most important
approach
thing.
that is the
The
issue.
approach, the intentions most times are
Especially when
right.
it boils down to marriage, when they start asking you, when are you going to get married? As if it's that easy for a young lady to just wake up and grab any man out there and say, come and marry me. You understand? It's always not that easy. Sometimes you have to date the person, you have to go through some period of trying to understand this person, and then
I think they don't really care about all that.
They don't, but they don't know. They don't, or maybe they had it easy and they feel it's easy.
It's just a family thing.
It's a family
thing. Other parts of the world where as soon as you're 18, you're expected to leave your parents. That's another one. It's just okay, and then you hear maybe in some situations you've not been able to leave, and if somebody's wondering, at this age you're still in with your parents, it could be a lot of
it's
pressure.
Just expectations.
Yeah, it could be a lot of pressure too, but these things happen, and we just stay positive and just keep moving on. But the reason why I wanted us to dwell so much on family is the fact that some people change. Yeah, some people were like the black sheep of the family, or they had issues for too long, and then it just takes the family time to adjust to the fact that they've changed. Sometimes some adults struggle with that. Okay, maybe they made a mistake, or maybe they had a child early or something, or they just engaged in something, or they went to prison, but they are still finding, the family still finding it hard to just accept them.
That means the family
accept
has
them
not
back.
moved on.
Yeah, so
Yes, the
it's
family
another
has not-
struggle.
Yes, the
adults
family has
go
not
through.
found peace. They've not found peace with the
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
It's I think with that, I think it's an individual thing. Whoever is the one talking about it should find a quiet place, you understand, and find peace with either what has happened or the situation.
Yeah,
You understand?
yeah.
Just find peace
and move on.
move
Yeah,
on.
you owe it to
You
yourself.
They say you can't keep flogging an old dog. You understand? The mistake, if it was a mistake, it has been done. That mistake has been done. So talking about it all the time, will not make it good, will not change the situation either. So it's just to find peace with whatever it is.
Find peace, and also for families to also prayerfully accept, the fact that people change.
Yes, people do
change. Be less judgmental. I know some family don't play with it, upholding their name, they are this and that.
Some families could even kill you for like they say dragging their name.
But
they forget that we are humans and we can make mistakes. Nobody is above mistakes.
Yeah, exactly. And there's another thing I wanted us to talk about, which is the aspect of the mind, the battle of the mind, as it were. And the aspect I wanted us to look at is the fact that some people have been so put down that they feel that they cannot just get better anymore. They feel they've made the worst mistakes in the world. Yes, and they are just at that place where, earth's open and swallow me up, But we're saying this on the ground that we've seen very bad situation become good.
Yes, you see, for people that are traumatized like that, I feel it boils down to the person in question. Like, for instance, a young lady goes and gets pregnant outside marriage, and the father had high expectation of her. You understand? And then based on how the father attends to the matter, this young lady becomes so traumatized that she feels less than a human. That's the point why I said we all must understand that we can make mistakes. When mistakes are made, there's an old adage in my community that says you can't throw away the child with the bath water. Okay, just because the child poo-poos in the bath water doesn't mean you throw away the child with the bath water. So my point here is, granted that this person made that mistake, the idea of family is to be able to draw this person closer, let this person know that he or she has made a mistake, but he can actually change, and then give that person the support that person needs to change. You don't need to keep revisiting that issue. The person says something out of turn, you just flare up and say, that is how you went and did this thing. For crying out loud, how is the person going to go beyond that issue if you keep reminding him or her?
If you keep, that's the acceptance, that's the going an extra mile. But I'm saying that just in case you don't get it from somebody, you do yourself a favor and realize that there will always be something good from every mess.
Yes, there is, but you see, sometimes those people that have so much expectations about us are always there with us. There's no way, the only way you can go beyond that is if you can alienate yourself from them, as it were. You understand? People say cut them off, but you can't cut family off. You can't, But just like you said, you just have to find a way to, look at the good side of your life and try to build on it, and then be bold enough. Whoever that person is, if the person brings up that topic again, you let the person know that was something that happened in your past, and you feel that as a family, if the person actually truly loves you as the person claims to love you, that person should be able to let go of that situation and not keep reminding you, because you are also dealing with it every day of your life.
I believe that you should just be deliberate to find your own joy.
You must.
Sometimes you don't get it from other people.
It's difficult.
So just know that you're responsible to yourself also, and when you choose to do good and you choose to be right and you choose to be happy, then own it. Don't give anybody that power to take it away from you.
Yes.
And again, I wanted to just say this, we've seen people come from prison and become presidents. We've seen orphans become queens, like Queen Esther, and we've seen bad situations, very bad, become something. We've seen dropouts become billionaires. So yes, you just know that good, if you can see good will happen. It's just a matter of what you attract. See good, pursue after good, it sure would come back to you. I wanted to ask you a question. How do you handle friends that see you and ask, so where are you now? Like, I don't want to sugarcoat it. Those ones that are deliberately, after you, they are after you because they do it all the time, and every time they see you, they ask that same question. So, where are you now? And see, I have a friend who is late. That was a burden to her. She was added in a group from high school. Here we'll call it secondary school. She was added to a group, and every time there was this pressure on, okay, this one is here, that one is there. I know it's a line of conversations that age groups have, but by all means, there are those that make it a point of duty to rub it in. Okay, I'm doing well. Are you sure you're doing well? Or do you think you're doing well? So I don't know if you've experienced that, and how do you manage that kind of situation?
The thing is that, one, I've always told myself that we graduated from the same class doesn't mean we all achieve success at the same time. Okay, and that does not mean that we all become millionaires at the same time. So I've come to terms with that. All right. So number one, I don't feel intimidated when they ask me that question. Okay. I tell them what I'm up to, I tell them what I'm doing, and that is it. That is it. I don't need to tell you that, okay, I'm living in a multi-billion-dollar house or what. If you're saying that, that's you. There are people that are so rich but live modestly. So it doesn't mean that because you've attained a particular level, it means that other people are failing. No. So I've gone beyond that. I'm not intimidated, and then I'm happy about where I live, because truth be told, it does not give me the opportunity to see them often. Sometimes we see once in a year, sometimes once in 5 years. There are some of my classmates I've not seen in like 10 years. It doesn't mean we don't talk on phone, but that awareness is not there. Okay, and we hardly talk about, okay, what are you doing now? Where are you now? Hello, are you my father? You'll be asking me what I'm doing now. You're not my father. You understand? All you can do is bring up a topic and tell me, okay, look, this is what I'm up about, this is what I'm up about, and I think that, can you be part of it? It's a different
that's a better thing. But the thing is, just as I said, not meaning to sugarcoat it, many of the people that get to ask you that question, some are genuine, some may not even know,
some are hypocrites,
but some just they just want to rub it in.
They also have a circle of gossips, so they just want to use it as one of their topics, where they rub it in, and then every time they see you, they are turning their nose up and all that.
All we're saying is that thing should just phase out by now. It should phase out by all means.
If you can't help your friend, if you are running a business and you can't introduce it, if it's a legit business and you can't introduce it to your friend to be a part of it, to make money from it, please don't rub it in. Enjoy your glory, enjoy your fun, and let the person have peace.
Exactly. And having, that the goal of just being better than that next person is a limited goal. How about being a better version of yourself? How about competing with the best you had yesterday should be okay, the next level should be something better. How about that?
Work on yourself.
It's just a suggestion.
Be your own competition and motivation.
By all means, all we're trying to say is people are handling a lot, and they don't need you to come rub it in that you're doing well. Okay, you're doing well, good for you. We see people that are doing well as housewives and mothers, and they are doing real well. So it's really, this whole thing called success is relative. So you just do us and do adults a favor by just having the right motive and intention when you go about meeting someone from your past. Some people don't handle it properly. I used to see a lady, I can't remember when last I saw her. But every time she saw me, she would always say, Susan, you are adding weight. And there was a particular time where I was ill and I knew I had lost weight. And then I saw her again and she said, and I said, no, I'm not adding weight. I was ill and I know I've dropped weight. And she was like, oh, okay, really, whatever suits you. Okay, let's just talk about something there. And I realized it was just a line that made her feel better every time she saw me. See, not everybody really is in competition with you. Just in case you're doing that also as a defense. Not everybody is in competition with you. Some more people also wish you well. So, by all means, let's just leave that. Where are you now? So what are you doing? What are you about? Let's just leave it and, just ask the person, hope you're fine. I think let's be more personal in our approach. Yeah. That's what I think. That is what I think. Okay. So, don't forget our question. Our question that we asked earlier on was, what is that advice that has kept you going as an adult? What is that thing? How did you manage the transition? Did you hear a word or did you watch someone? Let's just know how you are managing the transition of being responsible and taking responsibilities. The good news is that it doesn't stop. It's like it just continues till you die.
Yeah, of course.
So, but we just want to know what you also think. We don't think that adulthood is calm. I feel that when you're prepared for it and when you're prepared to take up responsibility when they come, nobody will hide the fact that you know that there will always be responsibilities. Okay, so just open your heart and know that if other people survive this thing, I would also survive it.
That's
I think
true.
that's just the way to go about it. Okay, so just as we would always say, have you subscribed? Have you watched our videos? Has it blessed you? Have you learned one or two things from any of our videos? Let us know. And if you're not a subscriber yet, then you're not showing us love. Why not go ahead and subscribe? Comment on our videos and also share and hit that notification bell so that anytime we drop a video, you will be informed.
Yes. And the channel is Expand 247 and it is Let It Be podcast.
Yes, it is Let It Be podcast, and we've been talking about things that has to do with adulthood. It's very, very important. We just hope that what you've listened to, has blessed you and it has taught you one or two things. This is all we have for you.
Yes, I am Lysias and Susan.
And I'm Susan.
So we'll see you again. Be happy and catch your fun.
Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.
Bye.